Okay, here I am. You know, the problem I have when I do this video and then I do the live video too, is that I have a the live video has to be closer to 11 o'clock or thereabouts my time, so that when I get here, uh, you'll be there too. Because it's not something you can you enjoy watching later unless you can access my archives, which there's about 600 videos over there. Anyhow, there's 700 and something in this part of my channel too, but not with this title. Depended. They go back to my first dog and Antonio and Fats and all this other stuff I did. So some of it was the same, some of it wasn't. The original stuff, which I don't have, and because I changed when I lost it when I changed computers a while ago, is the talking about Colombia and my experiences. It was like my blog. It was, I did a blog for a while, and that was about my daily experiences or weekly experiences in Colombia, because it was all new to me then. Now it's not new to me anymore. And now I don't do anything, so I have nothing to talk about really. I'm here. That's about it. I don't go anywhere anymore. I don't travel anymore. I don't even get to go out to lunch anymore. It's kind of a weird, really weird situation I'm involved in now. But that's what life does to you. It screws with you every once in a while. Like my wife said to me, asked me the other day, she said, "You never expected our lives to be like this." I said, "No." I said, "You're 15 years younger than me. I didn't expect you to fall apart on me." And I didn't say it like that, but you know what I mean. I didn't expect to have to take care of you. I thought you'd be taking care of me right about now. And fortunately, I don't need a lot of taking care of. I just, need somebody to make some phone calls and take care of the food stuff for me. And I do all my own cooking and everything, and I survive. I survived for 50 some odd years by myself, so, doing okay. Now then, where was I? Oh, well, you got stories about this ceasefire, which is a joke because the Iranians violated it, the Americans violated it, the Iranians violated it, and the shipping companies are sitting there going, "We're not going to play this game unless you can guarantee the safety of our ships," which makes a lot of sense. Okay, because they have insurance companies that don't want to guarantee, don't want to, deal with them if they're going to be in the Strait of Hormuz. So that's a big problem. But the latest violation came from the Iranians. They seized two ships in retaliation for the ships that the Americans took. There was another one involved. They chased it. I don't know whether they damaged it or what happened with that. You know, and that's just another dumb thing going on in the world. And along those lines, one of the articles I read this morning is America could run out of missiles, especially if there's another war. What war? These aren't even major conflicts, and we're running out of weaponry? Something's wrong someplace. Where's all the money going? That's for defense and everything like that. Who's stealing that money? Huh? Come on. If all this money's being spent on defense and they keep on trillions and billions and trillions of dollars more for this, where's it going? What's it buying? And you're going to tell me that we just dumped everything on this country that we had? What if we had been at war with Russia? What would we have lasted? A day? 2 days? You try to help Ukraine. Ukraine's going to go someplace else for its help, because we're no good to anybody anymore because we're stuck in the mud in Iran. Just so dumb. Trump, and then he says, "Well, I'm going to take Cuba too." Now the odds say that should be a walk in the park, but I wouldn't bet on it. You know, China might have a little something to say about that. So would Russia, but we don't know. They have a lot of intelligence gathering areas in that country for, and what have you. So, Don't know what's going to go on there. The Cuban people would love it, but until they realize that Trump is going to turn it into exactly what the mafia had, a gambling paradise for dumb people. Oh, God. Speaking of dumb people, there's Kash Patel, who apparently is suing, I believe it's the Atlantic, for defamation of character. And as I've learned reading, those lawsuits very seldom go anywhere, but they can, cause people some aggravation and money. And, they made a story up about the fact that somebody would do this, the people that work for him were complaining about how hard he is to get a hold of, and that he's always out partying or something like that, Of course he is. Or you could look at the plane records for the amount of times he's used government jets to fly his chick around, I hope she's a great blowjob. I really do, because I can't really see, and he must be paying her or something, because I just don't see that relationship, going as a romance. I don't see it. As a business relationship, I can see it, but as a romantic relationship, I don't see it, But that's, romance is a funny thing. Who knows what turns people on, I get turned on by eyes, and eyes lie constantly, and I've paid the price a couple of times for that. But that's, here or there. But he's got some problems, and I don't know whether that lawsuit's going to, solve his problems for him. But as I said in the live video, I think that there's two people that are up for termination. Kash Patel is one, and the other one's being Hegseth. All the women have quit. A lot of the women have quit already. Well, that's got to be with Trump in charge. It's got to be a toxic relationship for women. And I mean the two that left in the beginning, Bondi and the other one were toxic in their own right. So it was just as well that they left. You hire thugs like ICE, and they expect you expect them to listen to a woman. They're not going to listen to a woman. They're thugs. They don't listen to anybody. But at least the guy has some sort of I don't know, authority figure or something. I don't know. It's kind of a screwed up deal when you start dealing with things like that. But there are a lot of famous people in trouble for a lot of things, Patel's got drugs involved supposedly, and partying, and that was a thing that was said about him in the beginning. The beginning of the year, since during football season, he was always traveling around. He was a big cheerleader. He loved, I don't know whether it was hockey or football was his big deal, And he was all over the world, all over the country traveling on our dime, and his girlfriend was going with him on our dime. So, he's a billionaire. He's got money. Let him spend it. Try to get the money out of him, though, all right? That'd be fun. Say he's got to reimburse, that he has to reimburse the government for that. Let's see how far that gets. Another guy, famous person, in a little bit of trouble. Now, this I don't remember the story originally. Originally, the story was a month or so ago. I don't know when it was. Vrabel got caught with this reporter that was covering the team. I forget from where she was from or anything like that. I just read it. I just glanced at it earlier. I didn't remember any of the details that I read. And she was terminated or quit, one of the two, and he's still there as the head coach of the New England Patriots, and I have no idea what the whole deal is. So what I'm going to have to do and you know how much I love doing this, is go back to the original story and find out what that was all about, and why is he still there and she isn't. I mean, that just doesn't seem fair, you know. Uh, Women reporters are held to a very high standard in a very competitive world, but I still don't think it's fair. I don't know what kind. I mean, Vrabel was never. I mean, I look at him and I just don't see him attracting, high class women and stuff like that. Other than the fact that he's the head coach and they're trying to get a story. So or trying to cause a story. But I feel sorry for the reporter because excuse me, when you see folks, these videos are made without editing, and I don't care. That's why there's a garbage dump of my work tables and stuff behind me and Lucy's little bed over here. Everybody thinks that's mine. That's not even half my size, okay? So, no, it's not mine. That's Lucy's. And since she's here's her name, she'll probably show up. Usually when you say Lucy, she starts to come around and she looks and see what you want, and she thinks she's going to get a cookie or something. I got a cookie for her if she shows up. But she's mad at me because I don't have a regular cookie today. And she went out today and played mommy. We were outside and one of the dog friends of hers come by, Jax, and then one of the dog walkers, one of the two female dog walkers that I know, Natalie, she's walked Lucy from time to time. Came by with a couple little, I don't know, they look like Westies. I'm not sure that's what they were. They could have been something else. And anyhow, the little dog started running around and started to leave the area. And of course, Natalie's not paying any attention. She's flirting with the guy next to me. And Lucy got up and walked over and barked at him, and everybody thought she was being aggressive, and she wasn't. She was being a mommy. She's telling him to get the hell out of here, back, come closer. Don't go wandering away like that, And that's what Lucy does. She plays mommy. She was a mommy. She had one litter of dogs before I got her. And, at times she plays mom. She plays mom with me all the time, She's very concerned about me, and I know that. And I think that's why she doesn't play too much with me, because she's concerned about my health. She comes in the house and always checks to see if my wife is there, even though my wife doesn't like her very much, doesn't pay any attention to her. She should, because it would help her, but that's, you try to explain that to people and they don't understand, Having an animal care about you can be very, very helpful, beneficial. So, but, the empathy you give each other can be very, very important. I'm using the word important. I don't think it's the word I want to use, but it's the only one I can think of right now. And for those of you that don't realize that I've had a migraine since about 11 o'clock this morning, and I keep seeing little triangles going across. So every once in a while I start to, get into this like I was when I was doing dope. Just go, wow. There they go, man. Cool. Wow. Yeah, and then I try to come back and talk, which is, not easy, All right, listen up. I need subscribers. Please. Tell your friends. And if you think I suck, tell your enemies. Lie to your enemies. Get them to subscribe. Doesn't cost anybody any money as far as I know. It hasn't cost me any money when I subscribe to people. You just get some newsletters at times. You'll get information that you may or may not want. Most of my subscriptions are to newsletters, Rolling Stone, Mother Jones, MS Now. There was another one, I don't remember what it was. But, sometimes I read a story there, sometimes I don't, Very difficult to get what you would call current news on the computer. You get it. It's a couple of, can be hours old or not. Depends on the, on the internet's how many people are on it at the time. So listen, I went and spent 22 minutes on doing a live video, and now I'm at 15 minutes here, and it just goes to prove that I can out bullshit anybody you know. You know, I used to tell people when he said in the bar, he says, yeah, he says I can out drink, out fuck anybody you know. All right, everybody, listen, that's it. I'm out of here. Have a great day. Please hit that subscribe button. Occasionally I say something interesting, and even more occasionally I say something funny. So please hit the subscribe button. Help me out. Help the station out. Help the YouTube out and everything. It doesn't cost you a dime. It's free. And where can you get abused for free, huh? All right, guys. See you tomorrow.